Hello, welcome to your Week 7 preview. We got a great week, a lot of close matches this week, a lot of similar records playing each other, so we'll have a little bit of separation after this one. We'll start off with the father versus son Gold Conference battle between Evans Enforcers and the Raging Hartons. Evans Enforcers has Joe Mixon taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, which is a nice matchup to have, but his two best receivers, Lockett and Juju Smith-Schuster, are on a bye. However, for the Raging Hartons, he also has the number 2, I believe, wide receiver in the league, Davante Adams, on a bye this week, along with Jimmy Graham as his lead tight end. That was a pretty great trade for that Adams guy for Gronk. That's working out. But Raging Hartons are also led by the dynamic duo of Ezekiel Elliott and Alvin Kamara. That's a tough pair to beat. Followed by a decent set of wide receivers and a coming off hot Marquise Goodwin. The Raging Hartons look like the favorites in this one, although the Enforcers will definitely put up a good fight. I think the Hartons are going to pull this one out with the play of Kamara and Elliott. Even with Sony coming on good and mixing with a nice matchup, it's just those two are hard to beat. And yeah, I think the wide receivers are the difference here. Christian Kirk and Will Fuller having to fill in for Lockett and Smith-Schuster are definitely going to hurt the Evans Enforcers. Next up, we have the 2-4 Snarl versus the 2-4 Steelers with a battle to stay out of the Gold Conference basement. The Steelers are led by number 1 wide receiver as of last week. I haven't checked this week yet, but as of last week, number 1 wide receiver in the league, Adam Thielen. He has been amazingly consistent and is actually doing better than another wide receiver for the Steelers, Antonio Brown, who, along with AB, is unfortunately on a bye this week. That's really going to hurt the Steelers. They got decent wide receivers to fill in, though, but Ben to AB is a lot of points and gives them a nice stack. Snarl, of course, have Todd Gurley and McCaffrey every week, so I like their chances in this one. I'm going to go with the Snarl. Hopefully they get a good big game out of Andy Dalton thrown to Tyler Boyd and can pull this one out. Maybe Stephon Diggs can explode for a lot of points, but I'll give that one to Snarl. Next up, we have the 4-2 Slaughterhouse versus the 4-2 Resting Bitchface. Resting Bitchface, league leader in points, averaging 166 a week, have assembled quite the fantasy dynasty team. Drafting Saquon Barkley is apparently a good thing to do. And they're both jockeying for position, and Resting Bitchface is jockeying for position before Le'Veon Bell returns, which he's been averaging 166 without Le'Veon Bell. When Le'Veon Bell comes back, that's going to be a tough team. I think he might be the early Gold Conference favorite for sure to just ride it out. It's surprising, going last to first. I saw it happen in another league whenever Todd Gurley was a rookie, and it can be done. And it looks like Resting Bitchface is looking to do that this year. This week, however, they have to go through the Slaughterhouse led by Patrick Mahomes, Michael Thomas, who might be the number 1 wide receiver also. He's on fire, and he has a pretty good, tough matchup against the Ravens in Baltimore. So look to be down points there. Carlos Hyde, Kenyon Drake not coming out too hot. So this week I'm definitely going to take Resting Bitchface. Slaughterhouse needs some good weeks from underperformers like Hyde or Lindsey to just kind of explode for points. But with Resting Bitchface top to bottom, you got Stafford, Barkley, Green, Julio, Marvin Jones, Golden Tate's just super consistent. Tyrell Williams is probably their weakest link, and he has a tough matchup against the Titans. So we'll see how that goes for him. But I'm definitely giving this one to Resting Bitchface to improve to 5-2 and continue leading the Gold Conference. Next up, we have the 3-3 Robert Downey Jr. versus the 1-5 Fat Morte. RDJ, to switch gears, is the league trailer in points. I think they're averaging like 142, and somebody else, possibly the Steelers, is averaging 143. So it's close, but they are trailing in points, and Fat Morte is trying to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. So kind of a fight out of the bottom in this one. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be really hurt by the absence of Aaron Rodgers this week, as the best replacement he has after the Kirk Cousins Baker Mayfield trade is CJ Beathard, which isn't terrible, but he's definitely no Aaron Rodgers, let's put it that way. Going against the Rams, it could be a disaster. At receiver, though, he's got Keenan Allen and an up-and-down Deshaun Jackson and a backfield that is definitely lackluster. Travis Kelce's the bright spot on his team, but I don't think it'll be enough to get over the hump here against Fat Morte, who is putting up pretty decent points, and I like his odds a lot this week with Goff and Gordon. McCoy and Howard are really going to be X factors for Fat Morte down the line, seeing how they do throughout the season. If they can kind of get it together, I don't really think Howard will, and McCoy, I'll give him a couple more weeks to get healthy, and then I think he'll start putting up some points, even though that whole team looks like a train wreck. So along with the newly acquired Mike Evans, Alshon Jeffrey, Sterling Shepard, and John Brown all at receiver, this is I don't want to say easy win, but an easy win for Fat Morte. And on to the game of the week. Why is it the game of the week? Because I'm in it, and I'm excited to take on Steve. It's to be the man, you got to beat the man. I need to get back on track, get into a positive win record. I need to bring Arig back down so I can get in the lead of this black conference and show why I traded my entire draft away next year, is because I got the players that I wanted. People are healthy now, and I'm going full force this week, as is Steve. There's no notable buys or injuries in this one, and that's just how I would want it. For the Flying Spaghetti Monsters, I finally got Dalvin Cook healthy, and David Johnson hopefully can pick it up. But adding to that, the newly acquired Kerryon Johnson, and a favorable matchup, I'm pretty sure for all three of them. It's looking good. The downside here is Hopkins is playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. That's not going to be good. That's going to be a tough matchup. Probably going to be shadowed by Jalen Ramsey all day would be my guess. Gronk and Kittle need to pick it back up a little bit. Kittle came out hot, but has been kind of going back down to normalcy with the introduction of the great CJ Beathard. The league best Chicago Bears will get the start in this one. However, they are taking on the Patriots, and that could be bad. For the Yarg, top to bottom every time, you got Cousins, Breda, Hunt, Ingram, who came out on fire. I'm expecting less out of him and more out of Kamara this time. I think Kamara was just getting a breather and really getting a week to rest. However, the wide receiving squad is the best in the league. Not even close. Maybe Fat Morte is actually catching up. It might be close. But Beckham, Hill, Landry, and a super, super hot Emmanuel Sanders, followed by Zach Ertz at tight end. That's tough to compete with, but I'm going to be competing this week. And for my pick, if I'm going for accuracy, I would definitely say Flying Spaghetti Monsters with the upset. Is it biased? Of course it is. But I really like my odds this week, and I need it. So we'll see what happens. Good luck, everybody. Hope Thursday night goes well enough for everybody besides Steve. Bye.